Good morning. We're starting to see some hints at light here this morning. You can see that on the eastern horizon with a little bit of haze out there too this morning. We are starting off with a few of those clouds, perhaps a few areas of fog off to the east as well developing. But at the moment, we're looking good for visibility right here in Fargo and in many other locations. Temperatures are comfortable too outdoors. We're in the 50s to some 60s, 62 or 63 degrees rather in Fargo, 61 in Grand Forks. It is 61 in Detroit Lakes as well. We've got some 50s up in more parts of northwest Minnesota, and Devil's Lake's the warm spot at 66 degrees right now. So not bad to start off here today. Checking out our visibility, most areas doing fine in the region. Here in the valley, we've got some good visibility reports coming in, maybe a little bit of lowering up around Lake of the Woods, but it's mainly to the east where you see this gray area. That's where we're getting reports that are a little bit lower. That's just outside of our viewing area, but if you're heading in that direction this morning, you're going to run into that, and we might see some of that creep into our eastern viewing area. So we're just going to keep an eye on that here this morning. Checking out our winds, we are pretty quiet. Some places reporting calm conditions, others in that 10 mile per hour range, 10 miles per hour out of the south in Langdon, and in Devil's Lake 13 miles per hour for you. That's where temperatures are warmest. It's helping to keep those temperatures up here overnight. And again, we're seeing a little bit of haze, the brighter white cloud tops, those thicker, higher clouds over toward Bismarck and Mobridge trying to work their way into the Ellendale area. You could see there's some rain and thunder there in western parts of South Dakota, especially northwestern parts of the state. And this is going to try to work its way into the valley here today. So we may see a little bit of rain underneath some of those clouds coming up. So here's a look at that hourly planner. 9 o'clock, we're still doing just fine. We've got some mostly sunny skies, a few areas with cloud cover. And as we get into the later morning hours, temperatures climbing into the 70s and some really nice conditions by noon. We're really going to have a nice lunch break here coming up. Wind picks up a little out of the south into the teens. And notice we start to get those clouds rolling in from the southwest and maybe even a little bit of that rain left over from what's happening down in South Dakota right now. And as that continues to press to the northeast, I would say, we have that potential for a little bit of rain associated with it. Otherwise, pretty warm. Temperatures in the upper 70s to some mid 80s today. So just building slightly on that beautiful day we ended up having yesterday. We'll add a few more degrees to those temperatures. Now later on this evening, 8 o'clock, looking at some numbers that are still pretty warm and mild with those clouds still rolling across the southern valley. But you can see what's happening up to the north and west. A little bit of rain and thunder happening around Minot around 11 o'clock. And that's going to try to make its way into our viewing area. It's running into a little bit of weakening happening as it moves its way into the valley overnight tonight, which would be good. We don't like those overnight severe thunderstorms because all of us are sleeping and hard to be up on what's going on while you're asleep. Now, looking at the 6 a.m. time frame, mainly quiet at this point. We're seeing temperatures into the 60s to start off the day tomorrow. Winds from time to time into the 20s for your gusts. And by 9 o'clock, temperatures making their way back into the 70s. And we heat up even more for tomorrow. This is noon, already hitting 80 degrees at that point. And that may lead to some storm development for Tuesday afternoon and evening. The question is exactly where. There is that potential, though, that we could see some strong to even some severe weather coming up for the day on your Tuesday. And that's kind of the one day of the extended planner where we've got concerns about severe conditions. In addition to that, we've got some heat building in too as we move into the end of the planner as well into Saturday. So looking at the numbers today, 84 degrees, looks like a really nice day with more clouds down to the south. For your Tuesday, that chance for some severe storms potentially, a warm one, and we'll see those temperatures well into the upper 80s in some parts of the valley. Getting ahead to midweek, drying out and scaling back the temperature a little bit, but still into the 80s, still very summer-like. And we continue that trend into the end of the week, but we could have some 90s coming up in the extended planner. So heat is here.
Staying hot as August approaches.
Exactly.
Have an overflowing garden? We'll tell you how those extra veggies can help those who are maybe a little less fortunate in our community. Christy Larson is live with the details coming up next.